Depression is not sadness. Sadness is appropriate, temporary, and proportionate to loss. Depression is a disorder, persistent, disproportionate, and accompanied by changes in sleep, appetite, concentration, and the capacity to feel pleasure. The distinction matters enormously for understanding and treatment. Mood disorders are among the most common and most disabling psychiatric conditions worldwide. Major depression is the leading cause of disability globally. Bipolar disorder, affecting about 2% of the population, carries the highest suicide rate of any psychiatric diagnosis. Both are treatable when properly identified. Major depressive disorder is diagnosed when at least 5 symptoms persist for 2 weeks or more, including depressed mood or loss of interest in previously enjoyed activities. Associated symptoms include changes in sleep and appetite, fatigue, concentration difficulties, feelings of worthlessness, and recurrent thoughts of death or suicide. Anhedonia, the inability to experience pleasure from activities that were previously enjoyable, is considered one of the 2 core symptoms of depression. It reflects disruption of the brain's reward system, particularly involving dopamine signaling in the nucleus accumbens and prefrontal cortex. It is among the most debilitating aspects of the disorder. Biological explanations for depression emphasize monoamine neurotransmitter dysregulation, particularly serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine, and structural brain changes, including hippocampal volume reduction. Depression is substantially heritable, with first-degree relatives of depressed individuals facing 2 to 3 times the average risk. Aaron Beck identified the cognitive triad of depression: pervasive negative views of the self, the world, and the future. Depressed individuals engage in cognitive distortions, overgeneralizing failures, catastrophizing difficulties, and filtering out positive evidence. Cognitive behavioral therapy directly targets these distortions. Bipolar I disorder is characterized by at least 1 manic episode, a period of abnormally elevated mood lasting at least 7 days with increased energy, decreased need for sleep, grandiosity, racing thoughts, and reckless behavior. Depressive episodes commonly occur but are not required for diagnosis. Mania alone is sufficient. Bipolar II disorder involves recurrent depressive episodes alternating with hypomania, elevated mood that is less severe than full mania, doesn't require hospitalization, and doesn't cause major impairment. Because patients often seek help only during depressive episodes, bipolar II is frequently misdiagnosed as unipolar depression, leading to inappropriate treatment. Bipolar disorder is among the most heritable psychiatric conditions. Concordance rates approach 70% in identical twins. It involves dysregulation of circadian rhythms, with sleep disruption often triggering manic episodes. Lithium remains the most effective mood stabilizer and is thought to work partly by stabilizing circadian clock genes. The diathesis stress model explains why not everyone with genetic risk develops a mood disorder. A diathesis, a biological or psychological vulnerability, interacts with environmental stressors to produce disorder. High vulnerability requires little stress to trigger depression. Low vulnerability requires severe stress. Neither alone is sufficient. Martin Seligman's research on learned helplessness showed that animals exposed to inescapable shocks later fail to escape even when escape becomes possible. They have learned that actions don't matter. Translated to humans, repeated uncontrollable adversity, abuse, poverty, discrimination, can produce the passive resignation characteristic of depression.